the talk and the scare tactics that's out there about the bird flu going around now, with being in, birds and then turkeys, chickens, that kind of stuff. There's something along the lines of, there's a major chunk of farms being shut down in other countries because of this, and that is causing the scarcity of food to be that much more and that much harder to get because they're not able to produce this, the farmers. They're shutting down their way of living, and then because of that, they're shutting down the way they get food out to the people. So the bird flu, they're trying to sell that again. And they're going by and doing this, testing the animals with the PCR test, polymer chain reaction, polymerase chain reaction, whatever, I can't think of the top of my head, but the PCR test, which if you've done any digging into this over the last 2 years or longer, you will know how much of a, I'd say phony, but how much false negatives and false positives are produced when they're actually really negatives, true negatives. Because it's not really testing for said thing that they're saying it is. They find something, it has a reading that says something, and they just make it what they want it to mean to, go along with their propaganda or go along with their desire of what their steps are that they're taking for the next psyop or the next, step in this evolution or whatever you want to call it, to what they're trying to do to society or to the world, to the country as a whole. And so with that brought back some memories of in early 2020, because we have gardened for years and years and years, my wife and my family and stuff, and we've always gotten seeds. We've always bought them a lot online because you can get them where they're natural there's no pesticides, it's organic, it's a better, we think, it's a better seed from, better plant overall that it comes from. So that's why we've done that, and then reading about stuff that was starting up when they're starting to get this stuff out here with the whole scare tactic that I had going in early 2020. There were multiple states, Michigan, I want to say California, and I think there was maybe 3 or 4 more that outlawed the selling of seeds. So you cannot purchase seeds. So if you went into a store, whether it was Menards, which is a northern store deal, I believe that's Minnesota, Wisconsin, that kind of stuff, maybe Iowa, and then they have seeds there. You go in there and you see seeds, or to Walmart, you go there and you see the seeds. They had it, caution taped out or crossed off or whatever, not available for purchase, and you were not allowed to purchase them because of all the craziness that they're trying to sell people that's going on with what they claimed was something else that came about from the PCR test. Anyways, that's a whole different story in itself, which will probably get me deleted from, channel. But anyways, as always, catch me on BitChute, Odyssey, Flote, FLOTE.app, and other places I have in user descriptions. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. So seeds, they outlawed the selling of it. So you could not purchase them at all. Nothing. Because what they said, why they were doing it, whether it made sense or not, didn't matter because you were not allowed to buy them. You weren't allowed to purchase them. And then there was, around that same time, Amazon stopped selling certain seeds for certain items because of whatever it is that they made up or they just thought justified their stance on it. So that's still there with Amazon, but they have freed up the selling of seeds since 2020 in those locations. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen again. And by that being said, with all this scare tactics and all this famine And I say scare tactics because it's really going to happen. But they've been scaring people for a while about it and not giving any, ideas of what you should do, what you could be doing, prepare, and that kind of stuff. Sorry about that. Someone was here and the dogs were going crazy. But anyways, what I was saying were, that's with the seeds and that kind of stuff. And with that, I believe, and I could be wrong, as always. I say that I could be wrong, but I'm looking at stuff and reading stuff, and it doesn't seem like it's going to go any other way. Because when people start losing control, they start grasping at everything they can get a hold of, whether it's by their fingernails or whatever. They just try to grab onto anything, and that'll give them some sense of grip to get back with what they were trying to do. And I'm saying that's what the government may be doing at times. If they don't have as much strength or power or overseeing or whatever you want to call it, control, they're going to start doing a whole bunch of stuff, just like what happened with the sanctions. They started here, they did nothing but harm America because of the sanctions and a little bit of Russia. And then they say, well, the ruble's really suffering, so it's a good thing. As gas has doubled and even more here, and food just continues to grow. And then across different parts of the world, who depends on those grains and that kind of stuff. Doesn't matter. And depends on the gas and the oil and that kind of stuff. Doesn't matter. It's all about, power and control. And that's why they did it. And then they doubled down again recently. And that's what they do. If you're not going to listen to me, I'm going to ground you even further. And if you're not going to listen to me even more, then I'm going to ground you longer. I'm going to ground you even more. I'm going to take things away. I'm going to take everything away. Et cetera, until finally they can get some sense of control. And that's what I feel they're going to do. So with seeds, just starting with seeds. We're not starting with seeds because actually if you look at it, marijuana, decades and decades and decades ago, was a plant, an herb, whatever, medicinal. It helps tons and tons of people. And it was a plant. It was cheap because you could grow it yourself, that kind of stuff. Well, they got rid of that. And it also provided a ton of paper products, that kind of stuff, better and cheaper than you got from trees for the most part. And clothing, even on top of that. Had to get rid of it because of these other corporations, these other entities that say it's impeding or it's competition. So you got to get rid of that. Government, come to my side, and let's do this together and rid of that marijuana stuff, the cannabis sativa stuff. Let's get rid of that, and just come along with us. And that's called fascism. That's what America's been doing for a long time. It's just been doubling and tripling down. And communism is rolled into that also. Anyways, so seeds, I fear, are going to be that. So either they're going to be severely regulated and or severely and heavily taxed. So it's so hard to get. And you might be limited where you can get, if it's still legal. They might be altogether outlawed unless you buy the Monsanto approved seeds, the ones that are Roundup ready, that kind of stuff, because it's all like GMO. It's genetically modified organism. That's what it is. So you can't buy the natural stuff. You can't grow your natural plants and keep the seeds to keep growing. That's going to happen. And people says, well, that sort of sounds crazy. Think of it this way: California, think places in Arizona, stuff like that. You can't grow plants in your yard. You can't grow plants in pots on your balcony if you live in an apartment. You can't. You get fined, or you get threatened. You get ticketed, whatever I'm going to call it, taxed, whatever, because you're not supposed to do that. Just like you can't collect rainwater in California and other places. You can't. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get punished. You're going to get fined. You're going to get threatened with being locked in a cage, that kind of stuff. That comes from the sky. So how crazy is that? But it exists because people went along with it. Oh, it's just this. It's just small. It's easy, that kind of stuff. So that's how this is going to go down. The seeds. So another thing I'm thinking is, and this might be maybe another video. I want to do a little deeper dive into your vitamins, because I know they talked about how bad vitamin D3 was, and your zinc, and your vitamin C, and this kind of stuff, and then even minerals, essential minerals that you need, and organic itself. They're saying, well, if it's not sprayed with this, it's not pumped with this, it's not these kinds of seeds, you're growing organic, it's unsafe. You got to do this and that. You got to buy these. You got to plant these for your safety. Of course, that's what it always is for. That they say. So this is a whole conglomerate that I believe it's just going to be, a nudge here, a nudge there. But I think, and I could be wrong, I think they're really going to start with the seed thing, and sweep it under the rug, and then they're going to come out on these vitamins. Why vitamins? Well, because vitamins are the major competition to Big Pharma. Same with herbs. Same deal. So if you can grow your own medicinal plants, whether that's marijuana or whatever it is, all those other things, cayenne, that kind of stuff, and you can grow your own herbs that are plants also, and you can, help your health that way, and get enough, of the essential stuff, D3, whether it's out in the sun or however you're going to do that, vitamin C, everything else you need, and you're fine and you're healthy, and you don't go to the doctor unless you get in an accident, break a bone, whatever, you're not needed. You don't need them, and you don't need to buy and purchase these pharmaceutical products. What good are you to them? What good are you? Seriously, that's the way to think of it. You're useless to them because they want a customer for life. For life. And they want you addicted to it because whether it takes away your pain or whatever it's doing, they want you to have this. And then they can continue to raise price, that kind of stuff, shorten the quantity you get. And they're making bank upon bank with the cooperation of the government, that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying this because maybe people want to get out there now and say, well, I don't know how to garden. Maybe you want to look into that. Maybe you want to look into, well, I got these things. I'm on these pharmaceuticals, these drugs all the time. Is there something else I can do? I don't know. I'm just saying. There may be. Look into it. I don't know. Are there herbs I can do? Are there, vitamins I can take? Are these plants I can do? Is this stuff I should stop consuming? Whatever. Stuff I should stop doing. I'm saying that because right now you have a window where the U.S., the Federal Reserve note is still being accepted and cash can still be used, so they can't track you and trace you and prevent you from buying things. Right now, you got this small window that goes for crypto also. If you are interested in getting into crypto, Bitcoin, Monero, Pirate Chain, all those others, now the window's still there to do it with fiat currency. I believe that's going to be closed and shut. And there'll come a time where you're not allowed to buy ammunition. You're not allowed to buy maybe a firearm for whatever reason. They'll make it up. So you think about this, you think about the herbs, you think about the vitamins, you think about this stuff, and then think back. All right, 2019, I could go on YouTube or I can go on Facebook or I can go on Twitter and I could read about, or I could post things about vitamins, herbs, minerals, and how good they are and how beneficial they've been, that kind of stuff. Do that today, you'll be deleted. The video's going to be deleted. You'll be threatened and then deleted. You'll be slapped. Whatever you want to call it. They're going to erase you, period, from their platforms because of that. And why is that? Well, I don't know fully, except for that's not going along with their narrative. And you're the biggest competitor. Not you, but you're helping the biggest competitor to pharmaceutical industry, which that is well in tight with, the politicians, government. That there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way other than that, because that's real. That's what's happening. I have nothing here really beyond that to say, other than just to think about these things. And if there's something you want to do, you want to learn to garden, you want to learn about herbs, you want to learn about plants, you want to learn about vitamins, you want to do that on your own, great. Right now you have a window to do that and purchase those things right now. You still have that without a heavy resistance or a lot of work to do it, because it's open, it's freely available right now. And my fear is it's not going to be. So that's all I do in this video for. It's just to make people think about it. If it helps at all, it makes you think, great. If it doesn't, well, it is what it is. But as always, I thank you for watching. If you like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And stay vigilant, protect yourself, protect your family, protect your health, and